Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a great week, and today I want to talk about things that seem normal on a cruise ship but are actually kind of scams, or at least maybe a ripoff. Uh, yeah, so these things are something to watch out for when you're going on a cruise, and we're going to talk about it right after this. First thing, when a new cruiser gets on board and they are walking around the ship and they're waiting for their cabin to get ready and they're visiting the shops. All the shops are open with all the shiny new jewelry and souvenirs, and oh, I like this and I like this and oh, this is nice, and they end up buying a ton of souvenirs on the first day. And almost guaranteed, during the course of that cruise, every single item they just bought will probably be on sale at some point during the cruise. In fact, on some days on the cruise, they have a great big thing in one of the dining rooms where everything is on sale for $10, and some things that you would have bought for $40 are now $10. And so never ever buy the very first thing you see in a cruise. Wait to see if it goes on sale, and if it, even if it doesn't, you can pick it up on the last day. Speaking of shopping on a cruise, make sure you're carrying your everyday items all the time. Aspirin, razor blades, sunscreen, any common thing that you would normally carry around, because when you go on a cruise ship, it can be 3 times as much as you would pay if you would have bought it at home before going to the cruise. So make sure you have all your common everyday items so you don't have to pay exorbitant amount when you're on that cruise ship. Speaking of saving money, if you buy a bottle of water when you're on your cruise by itself, it can cost $3.25 every single time you buy it. Or you can get a case of 12 for like $7 and have it waiting in your stateroom when you get there. So you can order 2 cases ahead of time, have 24 bottles of water sitting there for $14, the same cost as having 5 bottled waters on the ship. Way better savings of money, and a lot more convenient to have it in your stateroom, sitting in your fridge, as opposed to having to go up on deck and buy one at the bar and then come back to your stateroom. So yeah, if you're going to drink some water, order it ahead of time. This one's not really a scam or exorbitant prices, because it does work, but one of the things they always offer in spas is a teeth whitening session. And it kind of doesn't make sense to me to get teeth whitening done on a cruise ship, because a lot of dentists will do it for free if you just go in for a checkup or have other work done. They'll toss in the tooth whitening process to begin with, especially if you're going to a brand new dentist. First checkup, they'll offer free tooth whitening. And the tooth whitening on board is good, but it's along the same lines as getting a home Crest teeth whitening kit, which you can get for half the price. So yeah, if you really want to do it, it's not a scam, but you can get it much cheaper someplace else. Next, I want to talk about shore excursions. There are shore excursions where you tour around places, or you take glacier helicopter rides, things that you can't do without going on a shore excursion. But there are some that you can do quite easily without having to book something through the cruise line. A good example of this is in the Caribbean. So many places offer private beach excursions and a day at the beach fun, etc., for like $75 a person. And you and your spouse and 2 kids, and you go, that's $300, and you find out that you could have took a $15 taxi ride for 10 minutes and gone to the exact same beach that they're bringing you on that shore excursion, and so another $15 back. So instead of spending $300, you would have spent $30, and you're at the exact same place. So keep that in mind. Beaches are often very easy to get to without having to book an actual excursion. One of the biggest popular things to do on a cruise ship is the Progressive Bingo Jackpot. You know the one I mean, where they'll say on the opening day, first C day, if you win, if you go to bingo tonight and your numbers come up before the 40th number, you win the jackpot of $1,000. And then the next day it's 41 numbers, the next day it's 42 numbers, and finally on the final night of the cruise, it's a guaranteed win jackpot. Well, let me tell you, I've been to about 20 of these bingos now, and I have never, ever, ever seen the jackpot won until the final day of the cruise. So in my mind, I'm thinking, unless I just want to play bingo and take a chance on the smaller jackpots and have fun doing that, that's great. But if I specifically am trying for that jackpot, well, I'm just going to wait for the final night of the cruise. Speaking of something a little fishy on board, let me explain some things about the casino. Casinos, when you're out at sea, are not regulated by anybody. No government standards, no nothing. There's no Nevada Gaming Commission like they have in Vegas. There's nothing. So they are free to make the odds as easy or as hard as they want for things like the slot machines. Your jackpot's going to come up, much rarer than you would see in a normal casino that's been regulated. But one of the things that they do to get people to word of mouth and to get people drawn into the casino is you tend to see a lot more jackpots won on the first and second days of the cruise. Strange, right? It's funny how it always seems that people who you talk to who win jackpots on cruises always seem to have won it on the first and second day, right at the beginning of the cruise. And why is that? Perhaps they're setting it up. And why is that? Well, think about it for a minute. How great is it to be talking to people at lunch now? Oh, by the way, I won the jackpot last night at the cruise, and hey, we should go in and try it as well. So they want to bring and draw people's attention to the casino at the beginning of the cruise so people can spend, and word of mouth brings it out. Not only that, if you win $1,000 on a slot machine on the first night of your cruise, what's the first thing in your mind? Oh, well, it doesn't matter anymore if I keep gambling during the rest of my cruise because I have $1,000 that I didn't have before. And chances are, you're going to lose that $1,000 and they're just going to get their money back. So it doesn't matter that they gave it to you on the first night because they're pretty sure by the end of the cruise, it'll come back to them. So keep that in mind. If you want to go to the casino, do it on the first and second nights. And if you win, avoid the casino the rest of the time because they'll just take your money back. Almost guaranteed. So there you go. There's just some things to keep an eye out, keep a watch out for, things that might cost you some money if you're not aware of them, and some things that just, why are you paying that kind of price when you can get it really, really cheap? So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, tricks, and vlogs from around the world, especially about cruising, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.